right here on the Muskegon Channel. I'm Andy O'Reilly. Dave Cackley's over there, and you have no idea. You have no idea. None whatsoever.
About what?
How close I was to just texting you last night and saying, Dave, take Thursday off.
What was going on? What happened?
All of it. I'm just,
You're just tired. You're
all I could
fatigued?
picture last night,
Getting
my
up at
mind was
8
sleeping
a.m.
until
is
about
too
10
hard?
o'clock this morning and
Jesus Christ.
getting up and doing nothing all day long. Nope, here I am.
I got something that'll get you excited. A question I've thought about posing to you because I've been doing a deep dive on.
Here it comes finally.
No,
Dave.
A deep dive. No, shut up. A deep dive on some conspiracy theories. Now, keep in mind, I don't believe any conspiracy theories, but I find a lot of them interesting. If I don't believe them, I'm like, okay, I'm going to give you 3 conspiracy theories. You tell me which of the 3 seems most plausible. Once again, I don't believe any of these.
You don't believe any of them. Okay.
I don't believe any of them, but I'm willing to have my mind changed. I am. I'm one of the few open-minded people left. Here are 3. Aliens in Roswell, New Mexico.
Yep.
Back in the 50s. Moon landing was faked. JFK was killed by a government conspiracy. Which of those 3 do you find the most plausible? Which of the 3 the least plausible? Let's see if we differ.
I think the most plausible is probably the JFK thing at this point. I really think that.
Least plausible?
The moon landing was faked.
Okay, now this is what you're going to find this interesting, I think. Because you and I are completely different. The least plausible one to me is the JFK conspiracy.
Okay.
Oswald acted alone. We know. Well, now here's the thing. I believe Oswald was the shooter. He wasn't. Now, whether there was other involvement, I kind of separate that. I believe it there was one shooter. Now, there may have been other forces at work, but Oswald fired the shots that killed him. Period. The moon landing, I think, is the second most plausible after the aliens. Aliens, to me, is the most plausible of the 3. I don't believe it, but it's the most plausible.
See, I do believe that
moon landing being fake.
I believe that aliens have been here, and I think they may even still be.
Okay, but you believe the JFK conspiracy is more plausible than aliens.
I do.
Okay.
And
I think aliens
because
is more plausible.
You like to think about conspiracy theories. I watch a lot about these things.
I enjoy them. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, but do you know that there is a bubbling conspiracy around the JFK thing now too? That George Bush 1 was one of the shooters.
That's ridiculous. First of all,
there are people that say they even had him in custody for a little bit around it.
There are people who say.
I'm just telling you what I heard.
Jesus Christ.
They said that he was the guy
ridiculous.
in the bushes in the grassy knoll.
That is idiotic.
Okay.
Now that's just way out. I mean, some of these get ridiculous when you say, there was this famous, because it had to be a famous.
It didn't have to be a famous person. I'm just saying that it's starting to get floated out there.
There was a single shooter. That's been pretty much proven that there was one shooter, and it was from the book depository. Anyway, but I'm like I said, I'm willing to entertain the thought that there were, it may have been a coordinated effort by other ancillary people.
Okay.
But the moon landing thing, the fact that we haven't been back since 1972, that everything's been destroyed. Everything that could show us how to get there has been destroyed. Why that happened? Now, once again, I believe we went to the moon. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But I've been some of the conspiracy arguments I've been listening to. Okay, that's interesting. I don't believe you, but that's still interesting. It's still interesting to me.
Okay.
Would you like, and of all of them, what would change your mind, change your life to lead? Like if we faked the moon landing to kind of say we beat the Russians, that wouldn't change my life at all. If we were lied to about that, I'd be like, okay, whatever.
I'd be pretty let down.
That would bum you out. That would bum
because,
you. Okay.
Well, you got to keep in mind too that I've gotten a little closer to some of these moon guys than you have. I mean, right up.
Oh yeah.
talk to some of
So
them.
that you're, yeah.
And
So the fact that the idea that they were lying, yeah.
Yeah, that would be pretty crushing to me. It really would.
Okay. Interesting.
And you know, honestly, I think a big part of the moon landing too, the thing that would hurt me the most is the amount of national pride that I put in that whole program, especially back then. You know, you've seen my tattoo on my leg, right?
Right, yeah.
The rocket.
NASA. Yeah.
You know, that's there for a reason because that's really the last time we got along as a country and we were all behind something other than a war.
And to find out that was a giant lie would,
you know what I mean? You know,
Yep.
if it's a war, yeah, woo, we all get behind it and all that other kind of stuff. But tell me one other project in the history of our lives that the entire country was all gung ho behind.
Yeah,
that was the last one.
Oh, I would agree with that. But I would think that especially if it were proven that the government was behind the assassination of the president, that to me would easily trump anything else.
Well,
beyond if the mafia did it, okay, you could see it. You could see why that. But if other government forces were at work, that would be completely different. Once again, these are conspiracies. I don't believe. I just thought they were interesting.
Well, thank you very much.
That would liven you up a little bit.
I'm livened up. I'm ready to go now.
Okay. Let's get into the news now. All right. House Judiciary Committee voted unanimously to extend the compensation fund for the first responders to the September 11th attack sites. The fund was established 8 years ago to help those whose illnesses were connected to their exposure to toxic substances they encountered following the 9/11 attacks. The $7 billion fund was nearing depletion, and hey, good for Jon Stewart.
Amen.
If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend you see his speech where you've never seen a government body just verbally undressed like Jon Stewart.
I shared it the other night.
Him over the coals. It was so good, and it had to be said. I mean, these people, Republicans and Democrats alike, we're screwing these people over $7 billion. And it was over $7 billion is nothing. It's nothing when it comes to the amount of money that gets thrown around to certain things. It's nothing. And the fact that, you know, and Stuart bringing up that it took 5 seconds for these people to respond, and it's been 18 years, and this thing is dwindling. And once again, good for Jon Stewart. That was very. It needed to be done, and he did a great job. So, anyway, moving on. Despite the political divide and social media hyperbole, the world has actually gotten more peaceful in recent years. This, according to the 13th Annual Global Peace Index. The study ranks 163 countries on factors such as homicides and incarceration rates, as well as military expenditures. Who do you think was the most peaceful nation? Most peaceful.
Most peaceful
has
nation.
Been, I think, for all of the 13. Like pretty much nobody
lives. Belize.
It's Iceland.
Oh, well, it's because
Iceland was number 1. Canada was number 5. The U.S. Congratulations. United States ranked 128. But, you know, that's kind of, I mean, we allow Canada to be peaceful. Yeah, Canada's not number 5 if we're not 128 because, you know, we're protecting everybody else in the world. So, you know, the idea that we're behind Honduras and Guatemala is bullshit. Come on. You're going to go to Guatemala. Yeah, that's where I'm going to vacation. It's way more peaceful in Guatemala. I don't want to go to Hawaii. Let's go to Guatemala.
Well,
stay out there. It'd be fun. Do some sightseeing. Anyway, what else is going on? Hey, if you're traveling on the roads in Muskegon or pretty much anywhere across the country, got to fill your tank now. Gas prices going to rise after 2 tankers were attacked in the Gulf of Oman near Saudi Arabia. Prices in Muskegon have been under $2.40 a gallon. Oil futures, though, have risen 4%. Yeah, you fill it up now. Remember yesterday how I said, we're not going to see $3. Yeah, scratch that. It's probably going to jump up 50 cents.
Okay.
I bet you we go back to $2.99 today. So there you go. That's my public service to the great people of Muskegon, West Michigan, anywhere and everywhere you may be watching.
You're a man of the people.
Fill up your tank. I tried to do that. do what I can. Sports, the St. Louis Blues are the Stanley Cup champions, first time in franchise history. You know how I got flummoxed there? 50 years they've been in the NHL. Their
54.
First championship. 54 years, so 5 decades, 50-plus years. Anyway, they beat Boston Game 7, 4-1. Golden State, Toronto. That series could end tonight.
Oh, I can't wait.
Toronto leading 3-2. That would be
I'm making my popcorn right now.
Franchise history. I don't think it's going to happen. I think Golden State wins, and that'll go to a Game 7. But we shall see.
Wait.
Anyway.
Game 7? Oh, great. Where do I get my tickets?
Game 7 yet.
Hey, speaking of tickets, you know what's got me pissed?
What?
Jeff Lynn's ELO is not sold out at Van Andel Arena for next month yet. I cannot believe that. Literally can't believe it.
So there's not a ton of Jeff Lynne fans in West Michigan. So
then they're
I
idiots.
like Jeff Lynne.
Huh?
I appreciate Jeff Lynne, but I'm not spending hundreds of dollars on a ticket to go see Jeff Lynne or anybody.
You don't spend hundreds of dollars on anything. You don't spend hundreds of dollars on a car.
On any concert. I'm not going to any concert unless you're giving.
You don't spend hundreds of dollars on rent. Why would you spend hundreds of dollars on a concert?
God, you're a dick. All right.
Goodbye.
We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.